Okay, hi, how you doing? This is DJ, and today I want to talk about a topic that is usually a very big deal for many of the people who work in our space, and that is price. I mean, the number of times people have asked me questions around how to price their products and what price they should charge for their products. I mean, if I was given £1 for every time people ask me a question around pricing, I would be a very wealthy man right now. So I thought I should just quickly share my take on pricing, and I hope that this would really help us to understand pricing in a slightly more business-like way, rather than the way where most of us tend to look at price. Now, usually when I sit down with a person and I say, well, how much are you charging for a particular product or service? Most of the time, they give me a really ridiculously low price. And then when I ask questions like, well, really, why are you charging that low for this service? Why is your price so low? And most of the time, then the people would say things like, well, I'm thinking because I'm new to the market, I should maybe charge lower than what other people are charging, and then as I begin to grow, then I can start charging more. I can start charging what I'm really worth and things like that. And I really don't think that's cool. Let me rephrase it. Not that I don't think that's cool. That is not cool. Right? That is not cool at all. However, I have seen lately, and I've seen a lot of this, and it comes from a good and sincere place. I've seen people giving advice, and they say things like, you know what? You've got to charge what you're worth. You are more than that. You're amazing. You're brilliant, and you should not devalue yourself. You should not devalue the greatness and the wonderful things that you bring, and you should charge accordingly. And then people then tell them, double, triple, quadruple your price, and they, if they don't value it, let them go. And I can see where that comes from, and it comes from a good place. But I have a big problem with that. You see, I've sat down with certain people. I must say this is probably less than the previous one. And then I'm asking them, well, how much do you charge for this service? And they give me some really high price. And I say, well, why are you charging that much? And they say, well, because I know what I went through to get this knowledge and expertise. I know the amazing, wonderful certification that I had to get. I know how many years I put into all of this, and I'm looking at all of that. And you know what? If they don't value it, they should go. Okay. Then I ask the person who was charging ridiculously low. So, how many of these low price packages have you sold in the last month? And they're like, none. Then I ask the person who's charging ridiculously high price, how many of your high price packages have you sold in the last month? And they go, none. So there's one thing these two have in common. They're not making money, right? And even though one person's thinking, if I charge low, people are going to buy from me, nobody buys. The other person who's thinking, you know what, I've got to charge what I believe I'm worth, nobody buys. Because, you see, we are basing our pricing on our ego. And that is just so wrong. If a person has a very deflated ego, they price low. If a person has an inflated ego, they price high. So in essence, what do I believe I'm worth? And I base my pricing on that. Not smart. Not smart either way. And I'm saying this 4 years ago. I was telling people to charge what you believe you're worth. And I'm now coming to you humbly saying I was wrong. I acknowledge I've said it before. If you go back to my Facebook timeline, you would see me saying in 2012, advising people to, charge what you believe you're worth. But I've matured since then. I've learned a lot more about business. And I'm coming from you from a place of better understanding of pricing. That pricing really has little to do with your ego and more to do with your business objective. I'll say that again. Pricing has very little to do with your ego and more to do with your business objectives. So things like the bigger objective is profit, but there's even different types of business objectives that come into that. So let's look at this, because I really want you to understand where I'm coming from, right? Now, let's say, I'm just going to do a little bit of explanation here. This might take a little bit of time, right? This is not one of these short 2-minute videos, but that's okay. But this video is really going to help you understand certain things. And if you follow this, it will change your business and it will grow your income. So just stick with me as we work through this, and you're going to understand. All right? Now, so let's imagine that you have a product. All right? Let's just say you have a product, a coaching program that is maybe £5,000. Okay? You have a £5,000 coaching program, and that's not bad, right? And you then have a one-to-one consultation. So one-to-one consultation, and then you say, well, how much is my time worth? Considering my qualifications, how much I'm worth, and all of that, I would not sit down with anybody for less than £500, because that's devaluing my time, right? Can you see an ego-inspired pricing? So I'm going to charge £500 for a one-to-one consultation. One-to-one consultation. An ego-inspired pricing. Now let's look at another person who is more business-inspired. So this person says, well, my goal is to generate 5 of these a month. I want to get 5 people to buy my £5,000 program. So I want to basically, off of that alone, make 25K. All right? And to be able to get people on that, I need to have a one-to-one consultation, which will give me the opportunity to sell this particular solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to price my one-to-one consultation at £150. Why? Because I can price it at $150, I'll get in more people come through to this, and when I do the one-to-one consultation with them, I can then upsell them to my £5,000 program. Can you see what's happening here? It has nothing to do with how much I think it's worth. It has more to do with my business objective. So this person prices it at $150. This other person's pricing it at what they think they're worth. This person ends up getting 1 sale. This person ends up getting 15 sales of their program. But of the 15, they're able to get 5 who would enroll in their 25K program. So this person makes £500 off this, but they only spend maybe 2 hours, right? This other person spends 30 hours and makes 150 times 15, which 2,250. I can't believe I got that one right, right? They make 2,250, right? Yes. Here, so not only have they made more money, yes, it's cost them more time, but they made 2,250 to be able to make 25,000. So they have charged less, but have made more money, because their pricing was not based on their egos, how much they think they're worth, but it was based on their business objective. So I hope you get the point here. So when you're sitting down to work out your pricing, get your ego out the way. Don't charge low because I think that I'm a new player and all of that, and people will not buy from me because I'm an unknown name. Marketing solves that for you. But also, don't do the, I am amazing, I am the best thing since sliced bread, I know how good I am, I will not devalue myself, and then you charge a ridiculous price, right? Get your ego out the way and let your business determine your pricing. So a few things that should, that actually impact on how you price things. Sometimes you price things to activate new buyers. And so you come in at a certain price knowing, you know what, I'm going to do a flash sale, for example. So I'm going to price this really, really low to activate new buyers, to get people who've never bought from me before to come in at a low risk and buy something really low so that later on they can spend more money with me, right? So pricing could be a reason to set a price, could be to activate new buyers. Another thing is to ward off potential competition. Yeah, sometimes you can price your products. If you realize competition's coming in and you want people to experience your products, you can just tweak your prices a little bit to ward off competition. that's business, right? And so the pricing's got nothing to do with your ego. It's got to do with your business objectives. Another thing is to increase your overall income, like the example I gave here. You lowered your prices to make more, or sometimes you raise your prices to make more. You see where we're coming from? Sometimes you lower your prices to make more, and sometimes you raise your prices to make more. But it's not really, I'm not lowering it because I think I'm rubbish. I'm not increasing it because I think I'm awesome. I'm lowering or increasing for the same objective to make more money. Sometimes you also set your pricing to gain market positioning, which means I want to position myself in the market. I want to have more buyers than others, and so I can change my pricing to reflect that. Also, to get more buyers. Sometimes we set our prices in order to get more people to experience our awesomeness, right? So I can say, you know what? There's lots of people out here on my list. They've never really experienced my awesomeness before. They've never bought a product. They've never experienced something. So I'm going to really just lower the price of this product so that more people can experience what it means to use one of our products. And so sometimes you can set your prices to get more users and more buyers. Sometimes it's just to maintain your brand positioning. So sometimes you can position yourself as a luxury brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you set your pricing that way. It may mean you may lose money initially, but at least there's a consistency for your brand because that's what you're building. And please understand, right, that high pricing luxury brand does not mean more money. It just means it's a brand positioning, right? BMW is not a luxury brand, but they make more money than Rolls-Royce annually. And Rolls-Royce is a luxury brand, right? And so Rolls-Royce, they set their pricing according to their brand. Does that kind of make sense? And so it's a luxury brand. BMW is not a luxury brand. It's a mass production, high-end mass production brand. They're just different models. And it's just, so understand that with your business as well. Okay? So you determine your brand and you build according to your brand, and sometimes you price for brand consistency. And also sometimes for stock clearance. You know, you've got a load of stuff, you just want to get rid of it, and then you just lower the price because you want to get rid of old stock and you want to bring in new things. So I really hope you get the point here, and I hope this helps you to start thinking more from a business perspective than from an egotistic perspective when you're looking at your prices. Don't let your deflated ego make you underprice yourself, and don't let your inflated ego make you overprice yourself, but instead let your business objectives influence how you price your products. Go ahead and share your thoughts and comments as well as questions, whatever it is, and I'll try to answer them as they come in. But I hope this has been very useful for you. Let's go out there, let's implement this, let's keep on doing what we do, let's keep getting great results, let's keep on being awesome. Bye for now.